Happy Sunday morning. Good morning to you. Married at First Sight, season 13, episode 3, the weddings, the parties, the reception. Did you guys notice that this season they didn't do a let the family speak and let the friends speak, which might have been a good thing because this season the couples are just mismatched to the T. Usually there is like one couple I could see that was matched basically with everything, just about everything they asked for. This season, this must be the season of opposites because this is an experiment. We're forgetting. They tell us this is an experiment. So when you have an experiment, you have a thesis you need to prove, okay, or disprove. And so, for example, let me try to remember something from school. I don't remember. But anyways, let's say, let me give me an idea. Give me an idea. Okay, let's match allergies. Okay, allergies. I have allergies, bad allergies. I have dust allergies, dog cat. I am really, really bad. Dust, I will start sneezing out of nowhere, okay? And so let's try to test Janice in an environment that is clean, and then we slowly add dust to the environment and see what's the reaction she's going to have. Okay, so to test the experiment is we're going to test it. We're going to see if Janice is going to be okay with them adding dust. Every day they add a little bit more dust and see if that affects her. Good, bad, or add it and it doesn't affect her. So it's an experiment. They're trying to see if we put these two people together, will they work or will they fail? Okay, that's what an experiment is. They're not really putting people together to see if they're going to work, especially in this season, because not one couple, usually, I've been watching from season 1. Usually I can say, well, that couple was really matched to last, right? This season, not one. This season, the couples were actually matched to fail. All right. So in talking about Gill and Myrla, I heard somebody say her name and then I got it. Myrla. I am amazed. I am so amazed at the number of women who are mad at her because she doesn't want to change her lifestyle. But how many of you know, ladies, that when you get married, if you're living here, your marriage should not bring your lifestyle down here. A marriage is supposed to magnetize your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is supposed to be better. If you was living in the hood as a single woman, when you get married, you should not still live in the hood. He should bring you to the suburbs. Because your husband is supposed to make your life better, not bitter. Happy Sunday, y'all. We're going to talk about that for about 5 or 10 minutes. I want to thank you for your love and your support with my new journal. Wisdom journal. Listen, wisdom. A lot of you women don't just have wisdom. Even with talking about Marla and how she needs to compromise and sell, you don't have wisdom. You need to get you some wisdom. Okay? Compromise is not supposed to make your life less. Okay? And of course, thank you for those of you who went over to Amazon and picked up Alexia book series for her birthday. We had a wonderful weekend getaway. I'm ready to go back home, though. After about 2 or 3 days, I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm ready to go home, so we're going home today. Okay, so at the reception, right, we see Myrla's friends, a Gill friend talking to her. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all the title. Is, since y'all, this is what y'all is calling her, Materialistic and High Maintenance Marla finds out that her husband is cheap. That's the topic, okay? Materialistic and High Maintenance Marla finds out that her husband is cheap. And in this video, this clip, she said, why? She said, why would my lifestyle change? Because after all, she asked for a man. She asked to be matched with a man whose lifestyle is comparable. That means comparable income, comparable lifestyle, comparable values, so on and so forth. But no, they matched her with a super cheap man. To the point that even this lady, I don't know if this is his wife or friend or whatever, is saying, well, you know, when you get married, you have to compromise and things might not be how it used to be before. And I'm looking there like, well, what, it's supposed to be worse? As a single woman, you want to tell me you was living in the hood and you get married and he gonna bring you to the bottom of the hood in the Roachmobile. Does that make sense to you guys? A husband is supposed to maximize your life. So here the friends are saying, Gill is extremely cheap. And this is the one where he asked her, so you're materialistic. And she's like, well, I've worked very hard for my lifestyle to maintain my lifestyle. So why should her lifestyle change? And another thing is, a lot of you are saying, well, she can continue living her lifestyle. Well, he's going to have a problem with her living her lifestyle. And I don't think she's going to be okay with funding him so he can live the way she's living. I do not see Marla as desperate as Brienne. Brienne is desperate. She'll do anything for a man. She'll whatever. Okay? But maybe she's willing to work it through, right? Maybe, maybe Marla might say, you know what, he's a nice guy. Like she said, he has nice, kind eyes. Maybe I'll fund his lifestyle so he could live, maybe we could take that trip to Dubai and take it in a nice way and not cheap way. When we travel, we don't stay anything in less than a 4.5-star hotel, honey. Okay. Maybe, maybe she's okay with staying in a 2-star hotel, or maybe she's fine with paying for them to stay in a 5-star. When Miles and I would travel, we have a suite. Right now we have a 2-bedroom suite, 2 bathrooms. Okay. Lexi has her room, bathroom. We have our room and a bathroom. And then the living room has the pull-out couch, which I stay out here most of the time because I'm writing and stuff like that. So here she's finding out. She's like questioning, well, why should my lifestyle change? And she said, I want my husband to be able to enjoy those things with me. But I don't think she's thinking I'm going to have to fund him. I think she's thinking, well, I asked for someone who has a comparable lifestyle. So that means he's okay with going out, spending the money. He's comfortable with the what she needs. And forget $4,000. I don't know why he talking about $4,000 pocketbook. Honey, these purses she have a $13,000, $20,000. And I think he's definitely going to have a problem. He's the type of man that will reuse a floss. When you floss, the stick one, you're supposed to throw it in the bag, throw it in the garbage. No. He's the man that will wash it off and use it tomorrow. He's that type. You know what I mean? So this season, nobody was matched to stay together because they all have the opposite of what they asked for. I wasted a lot of time trying to figure out Zack and Michaela. I just couldn't figure out why they were matched. But then I figured it out. She's a bit alpha. He's a beta. She's extremely aggressive. She's extremely masculine. And he's extremely soft and feminine. And, everybody's talking about the room is thinking he's, not living his best truth. I'm just surprised at the number of you in the comments that's saying you think he's gay. I need to watch it again because I didn't pick that up. But I'm thinking, I'm not picking that up because if you come on a show to get married to someone of the opposite sex, I'm not thinking you might be on the DL. Is that a word we still use? I don't know. Okay. Or you're not living your truth or what, because this is 2021. Everybody should be living their truth. Okay. This is, this is the time that you can just live your truth and you don't have to live a lie for anybody else. But I do understand in some families that's still, frowned upon or looked down on or whatever the word is. But I am amazed at the number of you in my comments that's saying, yeah, Janice, Zack is definitely not a heterosexual man, which is probably why he's never been in love. That makes sense. Now that makes sense because I just can't figure out how you 27. I mean, even puppy love, even love as kids. How could you not ever have love as a child, as, in elementary? That girl you really like, your prom date, never been in love? But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I just think neither Gill or Myrla is wrong. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. And for those of you who are saying she needs to compromise, please stop being delusional. As women, we're not supposed to marry and live less. As a matter of fact, Myrla getting married, her life should go to another level. Her husband should bring her life to another level. He's not supposed to bring her down. Because she's always going to be resentful and angry and bitter about that. And I don't think she's the girl that wants to fund a man's life. She's not a Brianna. I don't think so. But she might be. She might be the girl that is okay with funding a man. I doubt it. I just don't see her like that. I think for a lot of women who's worked really, really hard to have the life we want to have and to pull ourselves up with our bootstrings and come from the married clay to come to a level playing field. I don't see any of us trying to go back down there. Okay, unless you got self-esteem issues and you're just so desperate for a man like Brianna. But I just don't think Marla is that girl that is willing to fund a grown cheap man. And you know what? Let's say if he wasn't cheap. I really think that if Gill wasn't cheap, then we might be having another conversation. But because he's cheap, listen, for those of you who's making excuses for him, his best friend said Gill is extremely cheap. So how are you trying to make excuses for him? Make it make sense to me. How are you still trying to make excuses for a man where his best friends said he was cheap? And let's not forget, I called it from day one. I said, anytime you hear a man talk about money or talk about he want a low maintenance woman, he's cheap. Because I've never heard a man to say that. I've never in my life heard a man that I'm dating or in general say, I want a low maintenance woman. But anytime you hear a man say that or he talks about money, it usually means he's super cheap. Super, super cheap. And so poor Myrla finds out that she's married to a super cheap man when she asks for a man who's comparable. Compromising to go into living in the ghetto is not compromise, honey. That's abuse. Okay. That's like Olivia and Brett. She lives in New York style. She lives on Fifth Ave. Okay. And he wants to take her to the Bronx on, what street in Bronx? On, Bronx, what's Boston Road? Okay. Boston Road in the Bronx. Do you know how ghetto Boston Road is? I don't know if it got better. It was years ago. I used to live up that way. Okay, she needs to come from Manhattan, Fifth Ave in Manhattan to live in the Bronx on Boston Avenue. That's abuse. All right, y'all. I'm going to run. I love you. I'm going to work on my book for the next 2 hours while the family sleep. I love you. Let me know what you guys think. I just can't imagine how shocking it is to her that she's married to a cheap man. And he said the same thing. I'll come back and do another video, probably not today. But he says the same thing, how, you know, she's materialistic and he's conservative. Gill is not conservative. He's cheap. I'm conservative. My family, we're conservative in our spending. We're mindful of our spending. We save up for what we want, right? We know birthdays coming, so we save over the time for the birthday. You know, we have money aside for Christmas. Christmas, then the baby's birthday. We already planned where we're going. We know where we're going. This is August. This is August 2020. We know where we're going to be going for little Michael's birthday. This January 2021. Okay, we already know where we're staying. We know how much it is. Okay, we're conservative in our spending. And I could not marry somebody like Gill. Okay, I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Because he would have us staying in a motel in one room, 4 of us in a motel in one room versus getting a suite with 2 bedrooms in it and everybody have their space. Okay. Ouch. I love you. See you later. I miss you guys, but I have to get this book done. I told my editor I'm going to have it to him this week, so I have to get it done. So y'all be getting 1 videos until I catch up with my writing. But I love you. Remember to check out my Allegedly Janice. Check that video out I did yesterday. I was at the pool with the kids. Girl, I looked terrible. I was so sleepy. All right. Remember my books if you haven't checked them out. And my Etsy store. I love you. I adore you. I'll see you later, babes. Bye.